All right. All right. So, welcome to our workshop for Friday night. We're going to talk about the Facebook program and juicing up your referrals. So, guys, the Facebook program is not something that we've really put an emphasis on, which is why I'm excited to talk about this today, is because this is actually such a huge program that we have just been negligent to. So we're going to give it a lot more attention tonight. And hopefully this is going to create a culture and a habit of everybody getting Facebook posts up all the time. So yeah, you're like, what the heck kind of Facebook post do you put up? Well, we're going to talk about that. So the point of the Facebook program is to help you get more referrals, help you to expand your network in certain areas, especially something like Amarillo. So let's talk about it. First step, got to ask for referrals the normal way, which is why we just practice asking for referrals for about 20 minutes. The Facebook program does not replace asking for referrals the traditional way. Okay, so you always ask for referrals and you do that first and foremost. So the Facebook program is for after you get the list of recommendations. Okay, so you ask for referrals, you get the list, they write down 5, 10, whatever. And then after that, that's when you ask for the post. Now, if you don't ask for it correctly, they're probably just going to say, yeah, I'd love to help you out. Let me just do it later. Okay. Most people, if they're doing a demo with you, they do want to help you out. They do want to see you succeed. So if you don't ask properly, they'll just say, yeah, let me do it later. I'll send it to you later. I'll do it later. Okay. Don't just wing it. Okay. Like be professional and ask the right way. So I just put in the GroupMe. I just put it in the GroupMe, the script for this. So go to the GroupMe right now, open it up on your phone. If you need to download it to your files, if you need to send it to your computer, whatever you need to do. If you need to print it off and put it in your manual, page 23, that's also a good idea too. So here's how asking for referrals. Here's the script. Number one, ask for referrals first. Well, actually, let me wait till you guys pull it up. Let me wait. Let me be patient.
Yeah.
Frick. I do. My fault, guys. My fault. Copy. That's embarrassing. Skip. All right. What is the Zoom for? That's funny. Delete. All right, let's try again. Okay, Google Docs. There we go. Facebook. There we go. All right. Pull that up. Okay, so let's go over this. So step one is ask for referrals first. This does not replace your demos, just an additive. Step number two, have them do this now while you're still on the demo so they don't forget. So don't say, hey, can you post it? Okay, sounds good. Let me know when you do and leave, because then you could expect absolutely zero Facebook posts to actually get posted. And step number three is after getting them to do after getting them to do three-way introduction texts, then you ask for the Facebook. So step one, ask for referrals the normal way. Step two, send out the three-way introduction text. Step three, ask for Facebook. Jen? Those are the three steps. All right, so here's how you ask. Ms. Jones, thank you so much for those recommendations. That was very helpful. I can't wait to meet all of your nice friends. Can I ask you one last thing before I leave? This could make a huge difference. First of all, thank you so much for the referrals. I've learned that one of the best ways to market myself is on Facebook. This can help reach some of the moms, some of the moms who check their social medias more than check their phone calls, and it only takes a second. Now, I'm assuming you have more moms as friends on Facebook than I do. So if I send you a picture and gave you an idea of what to say, could I ask you to post that on your page for me? It would mean the world to me. Let me get Guy the Zoom link. Hold on. What a guy. Copy that link. Zoom link. See what this. Oh yeah. Yeah, they can see my screen, I think. Right? Yeah. Okay. Guy, what's up, brother?
Up, dude? I just finished an appointment and got one booked.
Let's go. Nice job. Hey, you're jumping in right in the middle of our workshop. So grab some notes. We're talking about Facebook. Let me catch you up to date. Step 1, ask for referrals the same way. Step 2, have them send out the text messages. Step 3, ask for the Facebook post. And here's what you say. This is the script. So here's what you say. We'll say it again. So Ms. Jones, that was very helpful. I can't wait to meet all of your nice friends. Can I ask you for one last thing before I leave? This could make a huge difference. First of all, thank you so much for the referrals. I've learned that one of the best ways to market myself is on Facebook. This can help reach some of the moms who check their social media more than their phone calls, and it only takes a second. Now, I'm assuming you have more moms as friends on Facebook than I do. So if I sent you a picture and gave you an idea of what to say, could I ask you to post on your page for me? It would mean the world. And then you add them as a friend on Facebook if you're not already friends. So one thing that you can be doing is whenever you book an appointment, go friend them on Facebook. So that way it's already done. And then they can accept you right then and there. So then the first thing that you do is you take a selfie. First, can we take a selfie? Take a picture, even if it's virtual. Okay, we look great. 1 second, and I'll send that to you. So you text them the picture with the text message. And this is the text message down here, and we'll go over that in a second. Okay, I just sent you the picture and what most people say. Obviously, feel free to add anything else. Let me know when you're done posting it. This really helps me out. By the way, when you post it, please tag me so I can see if anybody likes it or is interested. So after they tagged you and posted it, then you say, okay, that looks perfect. By the way, if anyone comments, could you just let me know? And they're like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. Okay, what to text your customers for them to post. So this, you send them the text with the picture and this text message. Hey y'all, this is what they're going to post on their Facebook. Hey y'all, this is Alex Williams, a hardworking freshman at Texas Tech. Now, obviously, change this to you. Who's showing Cutco to pay his way through college. He earns scholarship credit just for doing a short product demo, no purchase necessary, and I was super impressed with how polite and professional he was. He can swing by in person or just do it over the phone. It's quick and easy, and it helps him out a ton. If you're willing to support a local college kids chasing his dreams, drop a like or a comment, and he'll reach out. So that's the message that they'll post. Now, let me show you what this looks like.
Step 1.
This is an example. Okay. She would take a picture on the appointment, sometimes on the virtual appointments, and send it to the customer. And then the customer would post it and say, hey, this is Ali Sharos. She's a senior at University of Ozarks, working for Cutco to pay her way through college. All-American scholarship, gets scholarship to do 20 appointments a week. She can come to your home, do presentation over the phone, or get credit for the appointment. For those who have Cutco, she also gets credit to come sharpen and them super quick and easy. Now, none of you guys are qualified and trained to sharpen them, so that doesn't apply to you. But this is a good example of some Facebook posts that are out there. This is Alex Williams. Okay, same thing. This is Alex Williams. He's a senior at Texas Tech University, working with Cutco, blah, 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 blah. So this is some examples. Take a picture with your customers even better. That way there's some social proofing there. Sometimes they take a picture in the home. Sometimes they take a picture here. Ideally, you take a picture with a customer. Okay, just like Ali did.
What's step 1 again?
What was that?
What's step 1? I thought step 2 was post or something, but what's
Yes. Step 1 was ask for referrals the same way. Like ask for referrals the way it is in the manual. This is an additive to getting referrals, not replacing. So they'll post that. He got 7 comments. He got 13 comments and 3 shares, 33 comments and 1 share. These are all people who are saying, oh, either they say, I love my Cutco. Look, I've had my Cutco for 40 years. Cutco are easily the best knives made in America. We need our sharpener. Tell them to contact me for a demo. I would love to get mine sharpened. I have 2 with damage. Ooh, I need to know how much the potato peeler is. This is just free sales. These are free customers. He made it all the way to you. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. He's a hard worker and a go-getter. So this is literally just them like building him up, building Cutco up on how awesome it is. I love my Cutco knives. I wish I could afford a set of steak knives maybe one day. Okay, whatever. I sold Cutco over 30 years ago. My dad bought the steak knife and still has them. They are amazing knives. He will do an appointment over the phone. Bruce, how great of you to help this young man. Okay, so this is all just Alex Williams fan mail. It's incredible. So make sure that when you're posting it, make sure you follow up on the comments and the demos and things like that. More examples from Allie. Any might sharpen. Allie sends a text message. Hey, does she sell them also? Yeah, shoot me a DM with a number. Maybe the best salesman of Cutco all around. Love it. Thank you for helping me towards my goal. So she's involved in the comments and she's getting these things done. So it's not just it's not just, it's a great way. It's a great way to add recommendations. I live in Georgetown. We're big Cutco fans. We'd love to set up an appointment for you to sharpen and order more. Okay. So again, this is the DM that they say to those who interacted on the post. So this would be like somebody who this person who texted, then Allie would reach out and say, "Hi Kelly, this is Allie. I'm a student that your friend Brandy Rose knows, and I was looking through your friends that interacted with the post. You look nice and was wondering if you could help me out. It's nothing weird or scary, just simple. Okay, actually, my fault. Back up. This person you would just DM and say, "Hey, I'd love to schedule an appointment. Can you send me your number and we can be free for a call?" Now, what this text is for these people, somebody who likes it or comments on it or shares it. You can actually see who's liked the post, especially when you're tagged. You actually get a notification that you've been tagged. So when that happens, you can just go through this 54 people and send them this text message saying, "Hey, this is Alex Williams, a student that your friend Brandy Rose knows, and I was looking through the friends that interacted with that post. You look nice, and I was wondering if you could help me out. It's nothing weird or scary, just a simple way you can help me earn a scholarship to help pay for my college tuition. Can I call you real quick to explain?" Are you going to get everybody with that? No, you're probably not going to get a lot of people, but you'll get some. You don't need a lot. You just need one. You just need one or two or three, three or four. And then you can also post on social media for yourself as well. Here's some examples of like posting on your Facebook. Now, this guy was posting on, well, it's like Instagram a lot, right? Because he was in a push. But posting on Facebook to keep your customers up to date is really good. If you don't really use Facebook, this is a great way to do it. Every customer that you have, you can add them to your Facebook friends list and then post updates with them of like, "Hey, thank you so much for helping me out with my goal." Creating awareness around your goals, creating awareness around what you're doing, and having a number goal and how close you are to that goal is a big and great way to get your customers involved and proactive in helping you out, especially when you're active on Facebook like this. Okay. So that's that. Any questions on that?
And what was step 2? Sorry.
Step 2 is asking for the post.
Ask for post. And there are only 2 steps, or is there more?
There's only 2 steps. Step 1, get referrals the normal way. After you get referrals the normal way, then ask for the Facebook post. How do you ask for the Facebook post? I sent this script in the group chat just a minute ago.
Okay.
So this is what you should use. Okay, so that's that. This is a way to add more to your recommendations, okay? Do you guys have any questions about the Facebook program? No? Okay. Let's see.
Did you ever do it?
Yeah. I did my second summer. It wasn't something that I knew about my first summer. Actually, no, that's not true. I did. Yeah. In fact, let's see. I had my sister-in-law. I asked my sister-in-law, who didn't buy from me. She wasn't one of my customers. She's just popular on Facebook with moms. And so I asked my sister-in-law if she could post for me, and she just did the post for me. And I got, I think, like 5 orders just from that one post, which also turned into more recommendations as well. And it's one of the biggest customers that I have. They're the Glass family. They own the Glass Ranch, which is out, and it's like over like, I don't know, I want to say, she told me how big it was. It was like 64 units of land, which she said a unit was like, actually she said it was 64 units. I didn't know what that meant, so I Googled it, and they said a unit was like 54 acres or something like that. So they own like Texas, basically. So yeah, they basically own Texas. They're one of the biggest like cattle ranches or one of the biggest cattle ranches in Texas. So I drove out. It's an hour and a half outside of Lubbock. I drove out to their land, and once I crossed their property, I still had to drive for another 30 minutes before I got to their house. So it's huge. Maybe 30 might be excessive. It was probably like 15 or 20, but that's real. That's not being excessive. Yeah. Driving for 15, 20 minutes on a paved road on their land, like asphalt and everything. So I got that from a Facebook post. Ashley Maddox in 2023 got her first ultimate sale from a Facebook post. And you know who it was? It was the assistant of one of the billionaires in Lubbock. So, yeah. So it had actually done what I told her to, she would have gotten a ton of recommendations and just been set for life by doing that. But she was. Anyways, Facebook, it's good for building awareness, getting recommendations, things like that. What if, so Serena is a great example. She's like, well, I have a bunch of customers in Midland. How does that help me get customers here? Well, people are friends on Facebook from multiple territories. And so if you reach out to your past customers to have them post for you, yeah, you'll get a bunch of people in Midland, but you'll also get people in Lubbock and Amarillo. In fact, if you add something in there about being in Amarillo, then you're going to find customers in Amarillo too. So this is a great additive to what you've already been doing. Okay. So any questions on that? Nothing? No questions?
Step.
Okay.
That one thing that is-
What one thing? Oh, yeah, question. So if somebody comments and says, yeah, I can help out, all you got to do is just DM them and say, hey, I saw your comment. Thanks so much for helping me out. Can I have your phone number and I can call you? And but the thing that I showed over here is for people who interacted with the post. I don't know if it's on here. Oh yeah, it's right here. DM the friends who interacted with their post. This would be the thing.
Would you recommend like going back to like your old?
Absolutely. And go back. Yeah, that's great. Go back to your old customers, go back. And the thing is, like, none of you guys have been around for 2 years. So it wouldn't be weird to go back to your old customers. All of you have been around for less than 6 months. So going back to your old customers it's really not that long ago. So yeah, go back through your old customers, ask them to post. Hey, can you do me a quick favor? I'm working really hard. I'm in a sales competition right now with the company. I'm trying to get more appointments booked. Don't make it so much about the sales, make it more about how many appointments you're trying to do. Because that's what people can help you out with. If they know like you're trying to get 20 appointments, they're like, I have 5 friends that can help. So that's that. Okay. All right. So that's the first half of the workshop. It is Facebook, juicing up referrals. So referrals, step 1, ask for referrals, memorize the approach, ask for referrals the right way, have them send the text heads up to their customers so that when you call them, they know you're going to be calling and you call them and you just book it. That's step 1 and step 2. Step 3 is ask for the Facebook post so that you can get the Facebook post and it's residual recommendations. So that's step 1, 2, and 3 for juicing up referrals. Any questions on that? Okay.
So like you ask for your referrals and then you call them after you ask all of them and you go back and you call them or text them.
No, not quite. So I'm sitting on an appointment with Victoria. She's my customer. How many recommendations did you give me? 10. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you for those 10 recommendations. By the way, it's a lot easier when people know that I'm calling. So can you send them a quick text message? I'll send you a basic template. Okay, perfect. Let me send you the template. And if you can send them here before I leave today, that'd be really good. Okay, awesome. So it's before I leave the appointment, after they give me the recommendations. I'm gonna say, by the way, it's a lot easier when people know that I'm going to be calling them. So if you could text them this text to let them know I'm going to be calling, that would be great. So then I'm going to take that second bullet point, copy it on my phone, send it to her. She's going to send it to each one of the 10. And then the next day I'm going to call through. And whenever I say, hey, I was just meeting with Victoria and she told me to give you a call. Did she let you know I'd be calling? They're gonna be like, oh yeah. Are you Steven? Yeah, that's me. Oh yeah. Yeah. She said, what's up? What can I do? That's the text that's up.
Yeah. Well, I just like, I don't really think about it because I feel like I really take a lot of their time up. And so like going back to send messages.
When you say going back, what does that mean? What do you mean?
They take like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
25 minutes around.
Yeah.
Oh, you can-
Just to get the recommendations.
Send a message to all of them.
Do you write the recommendations down, or do you use the app?
I-
Okay. So when they're sending the message, all they have to do is just copy and paste.
So just do it.
Yeah, you're overthinking it. Because then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna ask them for a Facebook post too.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take more time. So here's the thing with timing. You gotta emphasize up here, so here's where you can really help me out. In fact, one thing I would add, if I know that I've taken a little bit more time than I really feel normal or comfortable doing, then I'll say, hey, here's where you can really help me out. This next part is the most important part of the demo. So that way it's like, if this takes a little bit longer, if this takes another 20, 30 minutes, well, it's the most important part of the demo. So, don't feel bad, keep it fun, keep it light, and don't make it feel like the demo's over when you place the order.
Well, how do you prevent it from feeling like it, because I feel like they already know,
Yeah,
automatically
like
already
once-
feel like it, they're like, all right, yeah, here's the card, great.
Yeah.
Then they're kind of, you're picking up and, it seems like, how do you not make it? Is there anything that you shouldn't do, or shouldn't say?
Yeah, it's called planting seeds. And this, on page 2 in the manual, we say, my main goal today is to have fun and do a great demo. So at the end, you like me enough to introduce a few other nice people like me so I can achieve my goals and continue working. So that's planting the seed the first time. But you can plant the seed more times throughout the demo. So once they say, yeah, let me get that. Okay, congratulations, Mrs. Jones. You're gonna love your customer. While I write that up, I'll show you all of our accessories, and then we'll get to my favorite part of the demo. Something else to look for. Okay, Mrs. Jones, I got the order up. What color do you want? Okay, awesome. And how many did you want? Okay, just one homemaker set. That's all? Okay, fine. Okay, just one today. Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, while I write that up here, I just need your information. Okay, let's get this down. Let's get this down. Okay, now I'm ready for your card. Okay, I got the order placed. Now, did you want to add anything from the accessories? Let me show you this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll place the order. Are you ready? Okay, let's go ahead and place the order, and then we'll get to the next part. All right, let's go ahead and place this order, and we'll get to my favorite part of the demo. And so they're looking forward to what's next.
Okay.
So plant the seeds throughout the demo that the referrals are the most important. This next part is my favorite part, the most exciting part, is the biggest part, it's the best part. Throughout. Cool. That's that. Good question, by the way. That's fire. I don't know if I've been asked that question before, but I feel like that was helpful.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Okay. Any other questions regarding basic referrals, basic Facebook posts? Okay, this next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a names list workshop. So I want everybody to get a fresh piece of paper out, fresh page of notes. And I want you to title it Names List Workshop number 1. There's 3 parts. This is an hour and a half workshop, but we break it up into 3 parts, so it's only 30 minutes each. So we're gonna watch this for 30 minutes and then we'll be done. So the names list workshop, names workshop number 1, and this is the first part. So this is Dane Espergard. Dane Espergard is a division manager in our company. He's the only person in the entire company that hangs with Stacy. Stacy is the best division manager in the company. It's not even freaking close. Like, it's not even freaking close. He dominates year after year after year. This is the only guy who has beat Stacy in the last like 7 years. And he's beat him twice, and Stacy's won the other times. Stacy's a beast, but this is the only guy he thinks. Dane Espergard, he's a beast. He's a multimillionaire. He's a division manager of the company. He oversees North Star division. He has one of the best development in the country. And his name is Dane Espergard. He's going to be leading the workshop around building your names list. So this is called Mission 200 A to Z. And so what we're doing is a step-by-step process to max out your names list, getting referrals, everything we just talked about, Facebook posts, referrals, all that stuff. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Like, who's up here? I think it's the custodians. What are we talking about? Oh, Wait, yeah, what did I just say though? Oh, yeah. Getting referrals, thank you. Getting referrals is the slowest way that you can build your names list. Getting Facebook posts is the slowest way that you can get. I'm taking his words out of his mouth. I'm gonna shut up and let him do it because he's the guy. Okay, ready, set, wait. Let me make sure Guy can hear this because I didn't show that. All right, ready, set, play.
I can hear it.
All right. Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. Let's do this. We get to talk about names list.
I'm gonna speed it up a
This
little bit just for
is,
time. sake.
Such an we're doing this for consecutive weeks. Make sure that we're all situated. So I'm going to start. This might be a little different than what you thought. I'm going to start by going through some mindset, some beliefs. Through this, I'm going to give you some resources. Back some resources. Some things you can do. My hope here, and this is for everybody. So if I'm going to be very transparent with everybody here, my expected outcome, my desire, Situ, right, which is really by July 11th, which is the fall. Everybody has to
Everybody has 200 plus leads. That's the goal. He says July 11th. Let's call it November 1st. Ah, brother. Anybody want to play Fortnite? No, you guys don't like Fortnite?
First thing to jot down. It's a mindset thing. Cutco is the best home product. Beliefs that are made a lot of times influence our activities and solutions that we find. So this is a really important one, which is number one, I believe Cutco is the best home product that's available. As a homeowner, we talk about this in training. It is the only thing with 100% certainty that I know that I'm going to use every day, and no matter what happens, I'll never have to. Makes it the most valuable thing I have because there's absolutely no there's no upkeep maintenance. So this is something for you to visit because if I believe that, I may operate a little different. Second belief, second mindset. One deserves the opportunity. This whole product that's available, that's out there for a consumer to be able to get. And therefore, I also believe that everybody should get the opportunity to purchase it. Well, how are they going to purchase it? Purchase Cutco feedable ways, right? So many people go to those. Only so many people go and actually see the Cutco booth. Maybe they hear about it from somebody and they have Cutco. We don't sell a lot of Cutco. And so it really is from you. It's from you saying, it's my mission to give every single person that is 1, 2, 3 degrees of separation from the opportunity to buy the best home product that's available. Third belief that really matters is that when I call someone, the outcome is always positive. When I call someone,
This is good. I love this workshop. All right.
well, I'm going to go root for your next. Comes with the territory. And so, you know, what I want you to understand when it comes to this is that I have to have this belief that no matter what, when I call somebody out, also know deep down, there's going to be a few that are necessarily positive, but I have to choose how I feel. I choose to associate positive feelings with every phone call.
Hey, Guy, you can speak up. You don't have to send that. Sorry, just talk to me. I didn't see the chat. Let me let me see if I can fix this out. All right, let's try this. Tell me if this is any better. In fact, we might have to let's do this. Let's do this.
Called people who you were chicken to call right on your chicken list.
Actually. Yeah, that was funny. When we go like this, but okay, now we're balling.
9 times out of 10, if not 99 out of 100, what happens? They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, hey, how
That
are you?
better,
Right? They're
guy?
surprised to hear from you. They're excited to hear from
Okay,
you. They
bet.
book an appointment. And it is much smoother than maybe what you made it out to be in your head. The next one, jot down.
You guys get that?
Associate
Back it up.
positive feelings with every phone call that I make. Now, you guys, everybody here should have enough experience to recognize that when you've called people who you were chicken to call right on your chicken list, 9 times out of 10, if not 99 out of 100, what happens? They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, hey, how are you? Right? They're surprised to hear from you. They're excited to hear from you, and they book an appointment. And it is much smoother than maybe what you made it out to be in your head. The next one, jot down. This one's really important. I'm 1 degree of separation. Write this down. I'm 1 degree of separation away from thousands of people. So here's what I mean by this. This is the absolute abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. Okay, in life, what's normal? Scarcity mindset. Why is that normal? It's just the way that society operates. It's what we're bombarded with all the time in the media, and it's really easy to fall into a scarcity mindset. Scarcity such as, oh, I only know so many people. The flip side of that is you're 1 degree of separation away from thousands of people, probably tens of thousands. If you look at your network, when I say 1 degree of separation, your network is not. 1 degree would be, okay, my siblings' network, my mom's network, my dad's network, my best friend's network, my boyfriend or girlfriend's network. If you add all that up, it is thousands. In a lot of cases, tens of thousands, depending on how many of these people that you utilize. Does everybody follow that? You have to look at it that way. The last thing I want you to write down is that it's worth it. So what I'm about to talk about in terms of like building your resource list. This resource list is the single greatest asset that you will ever have in this job. And I would also say what I'm getting into here is that, it's that whole statement of your network is your net worth. This asset that you are creating, this names list, is always one of your greatest assets that you'll ever have. Why? Those relationships, you never know when those things are going to come in handy. And if you are constantly trying to think of other people, it would make sense that this is going to go positively for you. I'm going through right now, this fall, I'm going to be going through the launch of my book. And I can tell you this network thing matters. I'm working with a launch company, and the launch company was like, hey, here's this spreadsheet. We want you to fill out all the people that you know. It was just like I was back in day 1 of training. And they were like, list everybody. And then they were taking me through the process of, okay, who has a podcast? Who owns a business? Who's a leader on a team, right? And I was going through and I was doing the same thing that we do with you guys in training, right? Which is called prospecting. And what's so funny is so many people that were on that list.
Join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 10th.
Hey, can you break this down for me?
Sure. The first step for using the quadratic formula is to calculate the
Some way or another fell into my social network in weird ways. You are intentionally building your network. And so you might think, oh, this is for us too. It's for Sell Cutco. Yes, and would be my response. In other words, there are so many different ways that there are going to be other avenues that this is going to impact you in the future. So this network matters. It's absolutely worth it. So in order for you to grow your names list, what's the slow way to grow your names list? Recommendations, right? I want you to write that down. Slow way to build your names list. Now, when I say slow, if you have 20 appointments booked for this week, it can actually be a really fast thing, right? It's just like, well, let me get good at leads before these 20 appointments and boom, now I'm off to the races. If you do not have a lot of resources right now, then recommendations is a slow build. Does that make sense? I only have 2 appointments this week, so I can only build it so fast through those 2. But here is what I'm trying to design for you. You work hard this week, next week, the week after at building your resource list. You get it up to 200. While you're doing this, you're also doing presentations and trying to improve your recommendation game. Then you go to the push and you book the most appointments you've ever booked, and you get the best you've ever been at recommendations. Then after that first week, you have this explosion of recommendations, and then you fall into this category like our top representatives who never have an issue with names. Almost everybody in Cutco reaches this danger zone, this scraping the bottom of the barrel. What does that mean? It means, ooh, I don't have as many people as I'd like to have right now on my list. You guys have all felt like that at some point? Even people that have big names lists that will come into training with 100 on their list, what happens is they're not primarily focused on recommendations. And I've talked about this before, but I used to have people memorize leads before they left training. Like absolutely, nobody is allowed to leave. We will not go on to the next section until everybody can recite recommendations from heart. Like that's how intense I was in training. And guess what happened when people left training? They still sucked at recommendations. Why? Because what's more exciting to focus on when you're new is making sales. And so it became my belief, it is my belief that almost everybody needs this oh crap moment of like, whoa, my list isn't as good as I want it to be. And then there, right at that moment, is a point of decision. And in our life, we're presented with so many points of decision. These moments where we make one decision, which absolutely changes the course of what we do, or we make another decision, which changes it in a different direction. So many of you may be here today at this point where you're like, I don't have a lot of leads. Here are your options. Don't fix it and quit, go get another job, or fix it and never be in the same issue again. But sometimes we need to put our hand on the stove to see how hot it really is before we understand not to touch it. Can you guys relate with that? Somebody says, don't do something. It's like, well, I kind of want to just see. And with this, recommendations, there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, recommendations are important. Yep, they're important. But it doesn't really mean a lot to them until they get to a place where they get to a phone jam and they're like, I'd like to have more people to call. So how do you fix it? You do two things. You rebuild your list, which is what I'm talking with you today about. And number two is you commit to being the best at recommendations. It's those two things together. And when you do that, you never fall out back into that same situation again. I did it. When did I do it? At the end of my first summer. At the end of my first summer, I was like, I don't think I'm selling Cutco after this summer. So I stopped asking for recommendations my last week and a half on the job. I was like, whatever, I've got enough to get me through the end of the summer. And then what happened? I ran out of money, needed a job, and was like, oh, I guess I'll go back to Cutco. And then I was like, oh, well, this kind of sucks. I didn't realize I left myself with really crappy situation. So what did I do? Over winter break, I wanted to sell Cutco. I said to my brother, hey, can I pay you for you to give me a list of your friends' parents? And my older brother, 2 years older than me, said, screw off, I'm not going to do that. And I said, all right. My younger sister, who's 6 years younger, I said, Callie, I'll pay you $5. She was like 12 or 13. I was like, I'll pay you $5. Can you give me a list of 20 of your friends, classmates, whatever? And she did it, $5. And from that list, I got 12 appointments and I sold $6,000 over my winter break to those 12 appointments. That was all, guys. I was at 35% too. So I made over $2,000 from a $5 investment. I don't think I've ever made that kind of return on an investment to this day. So, and by the way, my sister then sold Cutco when she was 18, and these were some of the first people that she called back, and they bought more from her, right? So it was actually a good thing for her also. But my point in saying this is there's so many different ways, there's so many different stories of people that have kind of rebuilt their list. The number one thing though is you have to have this strong belief behind it in terms of why it's worth it, why it's worth the time, why it's worth the grind, why it's worth the let me put myself out there, why it's worth all of that. And I have absolutely so much conviction in the SC2 process, in what you get from that, what you learn, all of that, that I know that this is worth it. I also know that the way that people come out of that push period, it's like it's a completely different job to them. And I want that for you, but we've got to kind of tackle this first piece. There's also a lot of people that are like, I would love to commit to the push period, but I just don't have the people to call, right? This is like the one thing usually that stands in the way of people being like, I'm all in, I'm going for it. And that's why I want to work on this for 3 weeks to make this a non-issue. If you decide not to go for it for the push, but you got your list of 200, you're still in a better situation, aren't you? So this is worth the grind, if you will. This is worth you putting yourself out there to get in a better situation. All right. So I'm going to give you some resources and some avenues for you to pursue over the next 3 weeks. Next week's meeting is going to be a little bit different on Thursday night. Okay. So the first thing I want you to write down, today is going to be more on like the bigger resource lists. Okay. So number one, go ahead and write down directories. Now, when it comes to directories, Morgan gave a great message on the chicken list at the conference on Monday, right? Or she talked on Tuesday. And one of the things that she said, she goes, I was fortunate enough to go to a private school, so I had a directory. I don't know if anybody caught that. All right, directories are still a thing. It is really common in my experience for people to be like, I don't have a directory right out of the gates without actually spending the time to research and figure out, do you have a directory? Because there's a lot of people that have a directory, it's maybe just buried and you haven't used it in a while. So I'm going to give you a few thought joggers, if you will. This whole thing, none of this works if you have a scarcity mindset. So as we go through this, I need you to just be like, sure, I might have that. I don't know, right? So this is all about abundance of ideas right now. Number one, go ahead and write down church directory. Now, it's very popular, very common for a church to have a directory of its members, okay? Now, what do you do with these when you get them? We'll talk about that here in a second. But church directory, that could be yours, that could be parents, that could be loved one, just a directory for church. Second one would be school directory. So this could be, a grade school, middle school, high school, whatever. Don't assume you don't have one. You might have been given one, or somebody in your family was given one and you just didn't give it any thought. And so it got stuffed into the crap cupboard. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Right? Or the junk drawer that's just got everything in it. The next thing I want you to jot down, go ahead and write down neighborhood. Okay, neighborhood directory. These are, I used to think these weren't super common. And then I bought my first house in South Minneapolis. We weren't in a gated community or anything. And I, in my mind, had always thought neighborhood directories were for those communities. We moved into an area, Diamond Lake Road area in South Minneapolis. And when we moved in, the previous owners left us. I wouldn't call it a directory, but it was like all the names and numbers and info of everybody that lived in like a 3-block radius of us. It's like, here's the neighborhood. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Right? So that's a thing, is my point. Right? Next thing I want you to write down is sports. And then the last one is jobs. Now, a directory could be something as simple as 8 lit numbers. In training, I talked about how my mom had this calling tree on the fridge of a tennis team. There's only 8 numbers on it, but that was a directory, right? That was a resource list. Now, when you get these, those become leads that you could contact. Not all of them are created equal. You guys follow that? Like if you have 0 relationship with somebody, that's going to be less of a productive resource of somebody that you actually have awareness with, okay? Now, one of the things when it comes to reaching out to people though, is all you need is some sort of a connection. So, another one for directories to put down are country clubs. All right, so I'm gonna give a story of one of my favorite reps from the past. Her name is Catherine Kearney. She went by Cat. Cat was, she was a ball of energy.
Country club?
She's from the Minnetonka, Minnesota area. And when Cat got started.
What was your question?
Did he say country club directory?
Yeah.
I think she sold $2,000 in her fast start. So she was, just barely, she wasn't really working a lot. Then this push period rolls around and she's like, this seems cool. This kind of like sums her up. She's like, this seems cool. Work really hard. Yeah, I'll try this. So she was in like the lead up to the push and she was trying to gather resources. And she brought to the phone jam, she brought the Lafayette Club, which is like a country club that's near Lake Minnetonka. So she brought the Lafayette Club directory. And I said, what's that directory? And she said, I brought a few. I said, what are they? And she said, this one here is a country club directory. I was like, oh, that could be good. And then I said, are you a member? She goes, my grandma is. My grandma's kind of like a parent to me. I'm with her all the time. She gave me this. And I said, okay. And she goes, did she go through and mark down who she knows well? She goes, she did. And then Kat goes, could I just call everybody in here? Now, that's not a normal rep question. Most reps would be like, I don't want to do that. Kat wired a little differently. It's just like, can I just call everybody in here? And I was like, I mean, you could. I said, you're going to get a little bit more like, who are you? But I can help drop a little script for you that can make a connection. She's like, I think I just want to do that because I know these people are all good because they're paying X amount. She goes, I know what it costs to join that country club. So I think that all these people would be pretty good. It's an expensive country club. And I said, sure, I'll help you with the approach. I was surprised at her gusto of just like, I don't really care. Because in her mind, she was like, look, I don't really know these people. So if they say no, I'm not going to take offense to it. Now, Kat, by the way, she had a massive push, right? She sold over $14,000. So she went from $2,000 coming into the push to $14,000 in the push period. And that was her main resource that generated a lot of recommendations for her. Okay, so directories. Your first assignment, I would say, is you need to do some digging around the house to see what you have. Some directories are now online, right? They might not have given you a printed one, but it's online.
Yeah, I actually have one. When I first started, I have one from St. Agnes private school. But I called one person because
So Daniel, if you just rip through that thing, it's never going to go well unless we can actually write a script for you that's specific.
Yeah, I only called one person from that, and I got a note from it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save this for a good time I can actually do it. And then now that you mention it, I'm actually gonna use that tonight.
Yeah, smart. Don't call it though until we create some verbiage for you that kind of addresses the whole, you don't know who I am personally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
And if
got
you
that a
don't,
lot.
It's like, wait, what? But there's a way around that, which we can help with. So Daniel, thanks for that. Okay, let's keep rolling. The next thing is going to be multiple avenues all under the same banner. So the next one that I want you to write down is social media DMs. Social media is the single greatest connector of people right now in the world that we live in. Okay, so I'm connected to thousands of people on Facebook. And again, I'm an HM30, so I'm using me as an example. Between Facebook and LinkedIn, those are the two I want you to write down.
HM30
Your
is-
customers, your target customers are connected on Facebook and LinkedIn.
There we go.
Other things also, but those two are such a main driver.
I like Mac better though.
I thought you were talking about like.
And
Mac.
so when you think about this, this is one where I really want you to think outside the box. It's not just your network, but it's who else's network could be great for me. Now you'd need to get permission, okay? But here's what I mean. If I'm, we've got different demographics that are on here. If I am 18, 19, 20 years old, I'm going to look through my Facebook at anybody that's an HM30, and I'm going to send them this message. I'll post this in the chat. Some of you have already seen it. Hey, so-and-so. So it'd be, Curtis sent me the one that he used. Hey, Olivia, this is Curtis, Jennifer and Peter's son. I'm trying to win a scholarship this summer from work, but I need to show adults my presentation to get credit. Can I get your number and potentially reach out to you later to see if you'd be willing to help me out? And then what he typically would do is name drop a couple of people that have helped him out in the past. Okay. So, and he says, so such and such and such and such and such and such helped me out. So I thought I'd ask you also. It's a little bit of social proof. Does that make sense? So that's one written a little bit more for parents. Okay. Faith just said in the chat that I DM'd 20 of my mom's friends I knew on Facebook. I just didn't have their numbers and I booked 15 appointments. Here's the mistake that people make with messaging on social media. They wait until the phone jam is like a day away or 2 days away, and then they start sending messages. And it's like, well, that doesn't give you enough time for that cycle to play itself through. Does that make sense? So I'm teaching you this one today, 3 weeks before the push starts, so you can start sending out messages. Because what's going to happen, you're not going to get 100% response, and that's okay. So in order to get to 200, you got to take massive action. But the interesting thing with this job is I'm going to give you solutions for this. One of the things that people will do though is even though there's solutions, they might say, that might be hard. But what I want you to understand is many of you have the opportunity in 17 days to make somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000 in income in 17 days. It should be hard. Shouldn't it? And so if it feels like, I got to do a lot of work, it's like, well, that would make sense because big things are ahead. So Facebook, if you're a younger student, you want to look at your network first, and then you want to see, hey, would it be okay if I reached out to some people in my mom or dad's network? If you're an HM30, again, I'm connected to thousands of HM30s through social media. It does not mean that I talk to them all the time. But Facebook, HM30s are on Facebook all the time. LinkedIn, people expect to get messages on LinkedIn. Like if I get a message on LinkedIn, I'm not surprised. Like that's that platform. So what I want you to do is I want you to figure out, what are your avenues for this? And I want you to think abundantly. Don't stop at just your network. Remember what I said before, that we are connected 1 degree of separation from thousands of people. You just have to think outside the box, think creatively, think abundantly. Now, here's the last thing I want you to do today. Let me post that that message in the chat. By the way, Faith, if you used a different one, Faith, if you used a different message, maybe throw that in the chat also. That'd be great if you can go find it.
Yeah, I use more of like a girl approach. So like it's got like hearts and stuff. So maybe only the girls are gonna
throw it in there. I like, everybody here is intelligent enough to change a word here or there. If heart emojis aren't your thing, to delete the heart emojis. Yeah, Nextdoor app can also work. I'm sure Alex Funk definitely uses hearts. Okay. All right, here's the last thing I need you to do, and I'd love for you to do it right now before we're done. You need to know where you're starting from. And what I mean by that is, if I were to say to you right now, Sean McRoberts, I want you to call 100% of the callable resources that you have. I don't care if you're chicken to call them. How many is that? Right? Jessica Howard, if you were to go through all your resources right now, like phone numbers that in your app or whatever else, or recommendations that you could call, how many is that? So if we're trying to get to 200 plus, you got to know where you're at today. Does that make sense? If I'm trying to lose weight or gain weight, well, I got to know what I weigh today in order for me to track my progress. So what I want you to do is, if everybody can add up their number, and I want you to message that to your manager today, this morning. They'll know what it is. So just 34 resources, 25, 105, right? Everybody here's in a different situation. There you go. So Faith just threw hers in there. Now, by the way, Faith's is to get an appointment. Curtis is to get the contact number. What I would say is you want to be right now be sending messages to get the contact number. You can do this on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Guys, what I've given you today are a few avenues for you to pursue. Please take action between now and next Thursday on these things. Nothing feels better than to slowly be getting numbers and to be slowly building those resource lists. What I want for you is that next week when you're here, you've got 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 more on your list than what you have right now. So send that number to your manager, how many that you have right now, right? If it takes you a minute, add it up and then send it in. If you're in my office, you can send it to me or to Alex. And then let's get to work. Let's get to work. Thank you guys for being here this morning on this journey of Cutco. Have a massively productive day.
Wait, I'm confused a little. What number
If
do
you
we
got
send?
questions, you can stay on for sure. Everybody else, you guys are good to go.
What number do we send them our manager again?
How many contacts that you have right now? So if Daniel, if I
Okay.
said call everybody that you could possibly call, how many is it?
Cool.
Daniel, you can include the numbers from the directory if you want, or maybe give 2 numbers, right?
Okay, yeah, there's like 200 in the directory.
So maybe give 2 numbers. Like here's how many I have without the directory. Here's how many I have with directory. That's why the directories are great, right? Because it's like, boom, right there. I've got a bunch. That's not always the best, but it's a resource, which I think is really important.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I can learn how to use that directory.
We'll be on it. It's on Alex's radar. I can see it
Yeah.
right now on my screen.
I've had it for like a month and I just like been scared to touch it. I was like,
All right. So what were the categories that we talked about?
The directory,
Directories. Good. What else?
the mindset.
Mindset. Okay. Term plus leads. What were the different categories that you get your names to build your names list from? We talked about directories. What were the other categories? I think we talked about maybe 3.
Church, school,
Social.
neighborhood, sports, jobs, country club, and social media DMs like Facebook and LinkedIn.
Good. So for directories, you had sports directories from your sports teams. School directories, teachers, church directories, job directories, neighborhood directories. Okay. Country club directories. Good. Good. And then we had social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. Anything else? Nextdoor app. Okay, good. So those are some of the, what do you call it? Categories on ways and areas to build your names list. So your assignment is to go home this weekend and find these directories, add to social media. Did he talk about, what were some ways did he talk about how to reach out to these people?
So like right out of it.
Yeah,
You just said not to, just like,
yeah,
make sure.
yeah, yeah. It's good. Let's see if I have anything. Uh, I don't think we have a script for that quite yet. For like directories but I can get one. I know who to talk to about that.
Is it?
Right. I think it's okay. Thank you though. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you too. Yes, so for social media, that would be great. For directories, it would probably be the same, probably be the acquaintance. But if you have questions about it, don't just like wing it. Like, let's make sure that we have a plan and a strategy. Because if it's like neighborhoods, right, you can probably do the acquaintance phone approach and like, hey, I live just down the street. I'm, I was talking to Bobby who lives right across from you, and anyways, I was giving you a call. Just following the acquaintance approach is probably good. But if you're stuck, if you're confused, if you're not sure, then talk to me about it, and I can help you with that. Yeah. So your assignment is to build your list, okay? And if you and like Dane said, I would write on this spreadsheet or this piece of paper that you have. I would write today's date and how many total names you have right now. Because again, he said if we want to grow something, we have to measure. So let's figure out how many you have starting right now. And then after you go through this, after you take a couple of days to go through this exercise, then next week we'll see how many more you have from this.
For our name list, is that we haven't booked demos with, or for our however X not long that we've been here for, we include people
That you've done demos for?
Yeah.
I would say no. I would say you leave out the people who you have already completed an appointment. So write down how many that you have from your names list, from your recommendations. What's that number? What's that number? And then if you could text it to me, that would be great too. That way I have it. So text me your number, how many names you have on your list. And write down the dates that you have it, because we're going to track these numbers for you.
number and date.
Yes. Yes.
Like before you send me.
Did you add some during this? Oh yeah. This is like as of this moment. And then next week when we go through part 2, then we'll see how many you've added. So there's 3 parts to this workshop. Yes, that'd be great. Okay. Awesome. Got the text from everybody. So that's your assignment moving forward, is to work on that names list, get more names and get more numbers. Next week we'll have part 2. You guys have any questions? Typically for a workshop, we have phone time, but we only have 9 minutes left, so we're just going to call it a day. Couple of events coming up. Saturday, we don't have anything. Sunday, we don't have anything. Monday, we will have a workshop. Kristen runs a workshop on Monday nights at I think you're right. Starts at 6 p.m. on Monday. Next week, we're gonna have a workshop on Monday at 6 p.m. We're gonna see about having workshops throughout the week like we did this week, but I will be gone Tuesday through Friday, so we will see. But Monday for sure. Huh? I know. I know.
But no.
I don't want to leave. Yeah. Dude. Okay, bye, Guy. Bye, Victoria. Have a good night. Bye, Guy. Have a good night, brother.
Bye. Bye.